We are live. It's the 360 Live. That is, welcome 360 family. Thank you very much for joining me on this lovely Saturday, the 18th of May. That number 18, right? Mr. Virat Kohli. He'll be probably having his nutritional shake and his energy drink, getting ready for the big clash tonight. RCB against CSK. But let's quickly cover a few other things. What's happening in my life? My boys are playing a bit of rugby today, so I'll be heading over to the school where my boys will be playing against a big Johannesburg school called Villiers, one of the legendary schools in South Africa. And then also the school that I went to called Affis. They are playing Grey College today. That's the big arch rivals. It's always a huge clash. Around 20,000 people gather at the school ground, at the rugby field. There's a lot of sing-alongs, and I have fond memories of going to Affis or attending Affis to school. What a fantastic school it is, and hopefully they'll get one over their arch rivals today. Yes, guys, it's a big one. As we know, RCB need to win. There's a lot of scenarios which we'll be covering. There we go. It's Bengaluru, RCB versus CSK, Chennai, Super Kings. Match 68. That's 7:30 p.m. IST tonight. That's 4 p.m. in South Africa. Faf up against Ruturaj Gaikwad. Both have had a good season as captains. But it all comes down to this. And a lot of guys called it, right? A lot of you said that game against CSK and RCB right at the end of the tournament will be a pivotal one. So to all of you who guessed that, well done. It's crazy. It's such an emotional game. And will also end up being such a crucial game for both these teams. There's weather around, guys, but as Mohammed Samir says at the bottom, it dropped from 80% over to 40% last night, which is fantastic news. But if you have a close look there between 6 p.m. till about 12 midnight, there is a bit of rain around, and I will show you in a minute or two that it doesn't really help RCB if the game is shortened. It doesn't help at all. We want a full 20-over game, and I'll explain that in a minute. Let's have a look at the scenarios then, and I'll explain a little bit better to you guys what I mean there. If you see there, if the game is reduced to a 5-over match, RCB will still have to win by 18 runs, and if they also chasing, they have to get it in 3.1 over, so that's by 11 balls. That stays consistent right throughout, whether it's a 5-over match or 20-over match. So a little bit unfair, and I think the net run rate system should be tweaked a bit and should be changed. I think a shortened game with the balls and the runs that you win by or lose by, that should affect the net run rate in a lesser way or bigger way actually. So I think it's a bit unfair. It's not easy, but RCB, you have a look there, 200. If they get 200, they'll have to restrict CSK to 182. That stays the same for a 5-over match. If they get 80, they'll have to restrict CSK to 62. And if you have a look at if they're batting second, they'll have to win by 11 balls to spare right throughout. Not easy, unfortunately for RCB. For CSK, it's pretty straightforward. They'll just have to win to qualify. So a lot less on their minds, but I'm very sure that the experienced players in the RCB camp would have gone through this extensively during the build-up to this game. Guys, don't focus too much on the scenarios. You can look at this until you're blue in the face. At the end of the day, you'll have to go out there and play a good game of cricket. Whether you're playing 5 overs, 10 overs, 20 overs, it doesn't matter. You got to do the basics well. And when you get that moment to run through the door, identify that moment of weakness in the opposition and put them under immense pressure. Both teams are under pressure. So remember that it'll come down to one or two players who's got a bit of X factor to take the momentum and run with it. And hopefully it will be one of the RCB players. I will be running a poll, guys, so please go and vote. Have a look in the descriptions box. Will RCB qualify for the IPL 2024? I would like to hear what you guys think. Just a yes or a no. As you know, I follow RCB. I support them, and hopefully they'll make it. As we have a quick look at the points table then, not much has changed there. Obviously, that rained-off game for SRH helped them jump to 15 points. Huge bonus for them because they were under a little bit of pressure of having to win one of the last two. But luckily for them, they got that 1 point over and they jumped to 15 points, took all the pressure off of them. And now for CSK, well, and the nice thing about that is CSK and RCB know exactly what's required of them. Only one of them will qualify. And we'll see what happens later on today. Big clash, big pressure, and it's all to play for. RR is still in second spot there on 16 points. SRH can still overtake them, but both teams have a game in hand, and it's all to play for there because, as you know, there's a big incentive for finishing first or second on that log as you get an opportunity to play against the other top of the logger to jump straight to the final. Massive incentive, and it's also always something we discussed in the team room leading up to knockout stages. Guys, we got to find a way to try and push for the first or the second spot. So KKR and RR in really good position, but SRH not out of it yet. And then we'll find out today, CSK or RCB. Who will it be? Let's have a look at a couple of posts on X then that I stumbled across. Some RCB tweets there, a double over our visitors in 2013 and 14. RCB had the two really good wins. Hopefully another one today then. As you can see the emotions there in the pictures, I'm even featuring there at the bottom. Great scenes. And then ESPN Cricket Info says it's a clear path for CSK and RCB. I'm not going to read through that whole article there, but as you know, I showed you the scenarios. Both teams know exactly what's required of them, and it's all to play for. It just boils down to it's quite ironic that it's these two foes up against each other in a must-win. It's like a quarterfinals match. So all to play for there. And it's just been a great tournament, right? And I'm pretty sure you guys have enjoyed it. As we have a look at the orange and the purple captain, Virat Kohli still at the top there, and he will hope that they will qualify. Otherwise, you'll be in danger of losing that orange cap to Gaikwad or Travis Head or Rian Parag. Sai Sudarshan is also out, so you will not be getting it this year. But the other three players will be gunning for it because they'll have a lot of games in hand after this match of CSK and RCB. But hopefully Virat, maybe he gets a big 100, and even if they don't qualify, then he might still get it. But I would rather want to see Virat and Team RCB in the knockouts. For the purple cap, Harshal Patel, simply outstanding in a team that hasn't performed exceptionally well this season. For a bowler to stand out like that is really commendable. What a fantastic effort from him. He's an incredible wicket taker in any team that he plays for. Once again, another guy that RCB let go. Getting the purple cap, or not yet, but he is on top of the list with Bumrah close second there. He will not be partaking anymore. Neither of them will. But then there are guys like Chakravarti, Yuzi, that will be trying to gun for that purple cap. So all to play for the purple and the orange caps. And what a fantastic season it's been for all individuals. A lot of guys standing out. I think of a Sunil Narayan, who's had a huge impact. Travis Head's impact. I know he's not an orange cap holder, but the way he scored his runs has been incredibly impactful. I always looked at the impact that players have on games, and Travis Head must be pretty close to top of that list. The way he scored his runs this year has been match-winning kind of knocks, So we'll see more of him in this tournament, which is exciting. That SRH batting lineup is simply incredible, and we're going to see more of that as well. All focused, though, on Team RCB and CSK. A little bit of a tip, guys, a superstition for those of you who believe in it. When I used to play club cricket back in the day, we had a rule in the change room that if there's a good partnership and you've got a seat somewhere, you're not allowed to move, all right? You're not allowed to stand up, go to the toilet, nothing, until that partnership is broken. So if RCB is out there, Virat's off to a flyer, Faf's batting well, if there's a bit of a partnership and we get momentum, you sit down on your couch. You don't move for 1 second. You don't talk. You do nothing. A little bit of good omen for the RCB team. I know there's a lot of CSK fans out there as well. I'm not completely ignoring you, but you guys know I'm a fanatical RCB fan. So all focus on my team for today. I am really sorry about that. No disrespect to the other teams. I absolutely love watching the games. But I'm going to be following my superstition for Team RCB today. Is it better to chase or defend for RCB to move to the playoffs? I think always especially rain-affected matches, it's easier to chase. It's also has been RCB's strength this season. So generally the rule is you want to do second what you feel your strength is. So if you feel your strength is your bowling unit, you want them to defend. So bat first, get a decent total, and back your bowlers, which is your strength, to try and defend. Where I feel RCB's power is in the batting this year. It has been in the batting team, and also the finishers. They're quite dangerous. But that top three, that's what I'll be looking at. So let CSK bat first, get whatever total. Then we know exactly what's required of us as a batting unit. You almost sort of take that 18 runs off it or add it already, and you just play that scenario. So I would hope that RCB will be chasing today. Keep posting your questions in the descriptions box, guys. Thank you very much for being on the live show. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Also hit that bell notification and like today's episode. If you're enjoying it, you don't have to like it, but I would really appreciate that. Who will play in place of Will Jacks? Tough question. I'm not entirely sure. We'll find out soon. But I'll ask the team maybe to pull up the squad so I can have a look at some of the players. It's all about the balance, right? Especially in crunch games like this, you have to get the balance right. There's the squad then. I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think. We haven't seen a lot of the other players. Maybe Rawat. Prabhu Desai is a good player. I haven't seen a lot of them this season as well, though. So you'll have to think about form. How much time has the guy spent out in the middle throughout the season? Maybe you tweak a little bit your batting lineup. Have a look at Cam Green batting at 3, maybe someone like that. Not easy, guys, but we'll find out soon enough. Thanks for that question. And I'm sorry, but I don't have the answer. Andy Flower will have a trick up his sleeve, I'm sure. Let's move on to the next one then. Which 4 foreign players should RCB play today against CSK? What do you think? I don't know if they're still thinking about a Maxi with all of his experience, understanding knockout games. It would be nice to see him there. We know what he can do, especially in a chasing scenario where you want a bit of X factor in your batting department. Obviously, Cam Green, as we mentioned before, Faf is there. Who's the last one I'm missing out, guys? Help me out here. Who's the last overseas player I'm missing out? Must be a bowler, right? Who have we got here? Lockie Ferguson. He's been bowling exceptionally well. There he is. So Lockie Ferguson will be that other guy. And I would like to see Maxi there as the 4th. So obviously Maxi to come in, Cam Green and Faf du Plessis. That's my 4. That's my picks for today. And hopefully that's what will happen. I'm also going to be sharing a quote, or not a quote, attachment in the descriptions box. Please go have a look at it. It's a YouTube video that I stumbled across this morning. I actually have seen it before, like 2 or 3 years ago. I'm not exactly sure when. But my mother-in-law sent it on a group this morning. And I looked at it and I just got a tear in my eye. And I thought I have to share it with my family. So please go into the descriptions box. Remember to vote for the poll, firstly. Secondly, after the show, when you have a minute, have a look at this incredible father and son singing performance. They played a song called Lucky Ones. The son's name is Jack and the father Tim, and it's one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. I think the boy is about 9 years old, or maybe 10 or 11. They started playing together guitar and singing and writing songs since he was 5 years old, and I can't think of a lot of things more special than that. And you'll see the emotion on the stage, and it really moved me. Made me think of how lucky I am as well to have a family. My children are healthy, and we're just so lucky to have everything that we do have, all the blessings of enjoying life, the small things, nature, the sun, the moon, the trees, the animals. And sometimes you just have to switch off, go into nature, allow yourself to feel small for a change, because our lives are so busy, and our movements become so important for us, everything we do. Sometimes it's important to look around you and remember and remind yourself that we are exceptionally lucky to have a life here on earth, and we must take full advantage of that. So that's the message I got from that performance. Go have a look at it. It is absolutely incredible. You will be moved. And so I'm happy to share that with you guys. Please keep posting your questions. I will be moving on in about 5 to 7, 8 minutes, somewhere around there. I have to go drop the boys at school. No rain as of now. I'm live in Bangalore. Thanks for that, Rai. Touch wood. Hopefully no rain to come back with that one. There is no rain expected at the moment, according to the weather forecast. It's only supposed to come later around game time, which is very unfortunate. But as I mentioned, it has dropped from 80% to 40%. So hopefully it will go a little bit more down, get to 10%. I really wouldn't like to see rain, and the shortened game is really going to hurt RCB more, hurt their chances. So let's keep it fair, please. Rain and weather, stay away. Who do you think is the biggest threat for RCB? Please say your name. Pratyush Chauhan. I hope I pronounced that all right. The biggest threat, there's so many in that CSK team. I think of Jadu, who's got a bit of X factor with both bat and ball. Gaikwad up the order. Dube, he's got a lot to prove. He used to play for RCB. Now he's playing for CSK at the Chinnaswamy, at the place where he was released, So there's a lot of emotions for him. He would absolutely love to be the guy to come through for his team. Who else can I mention? MS Dhoni. MSD, please take it easy today, man. Come on. Hopefully he keeps following that game plan of not batting or batting exceptionally late, because I don't want to see too much of him on the pitch today. If he does come in, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to maybe just leave the couch, go outside for a while, take a few deep breaths, and hope for the best, because that guy is dangerous at the Chinnaswamy. He's hurt us there before. Thanks for that, Pratyush. I'm not sure. I think I'm pronouncing it all right. Who do you think is the biggest threat? And I've gone through that. So thanks for that. Let's pull up a new question then, guys. Have a look at another 2 or 3 before I'm going to call it the day here for you guys. MSS7. What do you think about Rajat Patidar, a brutal spin hitter? Yes. I was very worried about him. I did mention it in the show in the week. I was worried about him the first half of the season, where he looked out of sorts. He looked a little bit disorientated in a way. Things weren't going his way, and it's really difficult in the IPL to come back from something like that. He has done that, so you got to give him a lot of credit for that. Obviously, a lot of mental toughness, a lot of hard work in the nets. And all of a sudden, he looks like one of the danger guys in that RCB batting lineup. So once again, if RCB can find a way to chase today, hopefully Faf will win that toss. I guarantee you, if he wins the toss, we will be bowling first. And Rajat Patidar is an exceptional player of spin. So we need him there at the wicket when their spinners are having a go at us in those middle overs. And that's where we can get much needed momentum, right? Where a lot of teams consolidate in the middle overs. That's where Patidar can play a huge role in getting RCB a bit of momentum and helping us get that ball rolling in the right direction. So hopefully a good game for all of RCB's players tonight. I want to wish all of them well, and hopefully a good one. After the first 8 games, did you think we'd be in this position? Absolutely astonishing. 1 out of 8, guys. It's one of the biggest and best comebacks that we've ever seen in the IPL. 1 out of 8. And then to go and win so many games in a row on the trot, and hopefully today another. Simply outstanding comeback. I think it was 1 out of 8. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe it was 1 out of 7, but I do think it was 1 out of 8, maybe 2. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I think that's where they were. And then winning a lot of games on the bounce, getting a lot of momentum, a lot of senior players standing up at the right time, and RCB just starting to gel. I think the most important thing that happened was in the bowling department with Lockie Ferguson coming in. He's played a big role with that leg cutter slow ball that he's got, also raw pace, and experienced New Zealander, right? He's played around the world. He understands his game. He's helped someone like a Siraj to settle as well, to not have as much weight on his shoulders. And RCB immediately started clicking as a unit. So I think that little tweak in the bowling department, I did push for it very early on in the season. I did allude to the fact that they're going to have to find that overseas bowler rather sooner than later, who they're going to go with. And unfortunately, they started with the other 2 first. So they had a look at Alzari Joseph, Topley, and only then later on, Lockie Ferguson came to the party. I honestly, I faced all of them. And from the start, I thought Ferguson should have got the nod first. And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. But I do think he played a big role, and luckily they did make that tweak. And hopefully another good game for Lockie Ferguson and the bowling unit tonight, because we're going to need it, that's for sure. Who do you think the X factor is in the RCB's camp? I think the X factor lies in the batting department. Up the order, Faf and Virat hopefully will give us another good start. The problem with that, it's happened so often in this tournament that if it doesn't happen tonight, there might be a little bit of panic in that middle order. So touch wood, hopefully they'll get us to 30, 40, 50 plus in that power play overs. That will bode really well for RCB, whether they're batting or bowling first. So hopefully that will happen. A good start. I think, well, you asked for X factor, but I do think our partnership is one of our biggest X factors. And then maybe a bit of a nice knock from a DK tonight, someone like that, maybe a Maxi. Maybe Maxi and DK towards the back end of the innings get together at the wicket and a Cam Green, and they cause havoc for the yellow jerseys. So that'll be my pick. I think that death hitting guys, DK, Maxi, is our X factor, and also the opening partnership. Alrighty, let's move on. Unfortunately, in the RCB camp, we don't have a lot of mystery spinners. We have Karan Sharma, who's been bowling well, but he is pretty much a stock standard leg spinner with the odd googly. It would be nice to get an X factor spinner in the RCB camp. Hopefully, at the next auction, we do pick up someone like that to support a Karan Sharma and a Lomro and whoever else is bowling. We saw a lot of jacks this year. Maxi bowled some off spin. All right, Sudhir Prasad, thanks for that, Mr. Superfan. What's your thoughts on getting Vaishak instead of a spinner? Good question. I'm not sure. You need a spinner or two, and as maybe it's a good call because we do have a lot of spin options. We have a lot of finger spinners, part-timers. If Maxi's playing, he can do that to the left-handers. The CSK guys have a few left-handers in their team, as we know, so that could be a good option. It depends what wicket the wicket's going to be playing like tonight. I'm not sure if it's going to be a bit slow. Is it going to have that seam that we've seen at the Chinnaswamy, where the seam bowlers have been effective up front, swinging it, nipping it around, and or is it going to be a bit slower? We saw one or two games as well where it turned. When RCB defended that other night, the ball started turning in that second innings, which was quite incredible. I mean, I haven't seen that for ages. So it depends what the conditions are like. There is a bit of rain around, as you know, so maybe the wicket will be covered longer. So that comes back to your point then. An extra seamer would be a really good ploy. And then we do have the backup options for the part-timers. Unfortunately, Karan Sharma will have to miss out then, I think. All right. Let's move on then. Thanks for that, Sudhir. It's 9:25 over here in South Africa, guys. I'm taking two more questions, then I've got to run. So what do you think about MSD's current form? I think he's in great form. That's the frustration that I have. I love watching him play, and I haven't seen enough of that this season. And when we have watched him play this season, he's got a 26 of 10 balls and a 35 of 13. And I mean, he's hitting the ball sweeter than ever. I wish we could see him like in the last 6 overs, almost have a rule, no matter who's batting after the 14th over, if we lose a wicket, MS, it's your turn, your time to shine. Even the 15th, just give him that last 5 overs. Then there's 30 balls left. So MS to face 15 to 20, he can maybe get a 50, So that would be great. All right, there's over 10,000 votes. The question was, will RCB qualify for this year's IPL? 85% of you believe RCB will go through. 15% of you think CSK will go through. So thanks for voting, guys. Over 10,000 votes. I'm quietly confident. Not overly confident, because I know what the yellow jerseys are capable of in big matches, right? They love the pressure moments. They've got the ice cool MS Dhoni. They have Gaikwad, who's been playing really well. So many match winners in that team. But I do feel it's RCB's turn. It's written in the stars. And if they qualify, then you better hold on to your seats, because I think they're going to go all the way. So all rooting for RCB today. To the yellow jerseys, may the best team win. I know it's going to be a great game, and lots of respect for our big foes. That's CSK. So we're all hoping for a good game, but deep in my heart, I hope for the RCB army to pull it through today. Do you think the battle between Jadeja against Maxwell will be a good one? I hope that that matchup happens, because I do think Maxi's going to get the better of him today. I think Maxi's made for big games. We saw what he did against Afghanistan in that World Cup when Australia needed him most, getting a double 100. So this is the scenario where we want a Maxi, and hopefully he'll come good today, if selected. Right, we haven't seen the squads. All right, guys, that's all for the 360 Live on this beautiful Saturday. Enjoy that game today. Let me just quickly read this post. As today we will win. Isala Cup Namde. Isala Cup Namde. Let's hope for that, guys. Thanks for joining me on 360 Live. Subscribe to the channel as per usual. And have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. Remember to go watch that video in the descriptions box. It's a YouTube video. I think it's America's Got Talent or The Voice or one of those shows. Or England's Got Talent. I don't even know. Britain's Got Talent, right? I think, because I heard English accents. Anyway, Simon Cowell is there in his best form as ever. Go and watch that video. It's emotional. I absolutely love it. And it just reminds us to appreciate what we have in life. If you have a bad day, things don't go your way, you break a leg, you lose your tennis racket, or you bump your car, or you fail an exam, or you get sick and you have to go to the hospital for a week. A lot of bad things happen while we're here, but there's so much to be grateful for. And I think I spoke about this extensively in the past. Remember to have that cup half full and not half empty. It's an attitude thing. It's a mindset. Look around you and see the things that you have rather than looking or staring into the stuff that you don't have or others have. We always feel other people's lives are better than ours. But meanwhile, you're sitting with a treasure right here in your hands. And that's the kind of message I got from that song. It's a father and son duo. Go watch it, and I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it. Follow me on socials. Subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much for joining me on 360 Live. I'll see you guys in the week. Go RCB.